everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. If you are new, my name is Shannon and I'm guessing you clicked this video. Maybe you're going through a similar thing to me right now. But yeah, if you're watching this, then hopefully that means we have made it through the first trimester of my second pregnancy. Which just sounds so crazy. Like, it's such a weird time when you're doing these videos, or not even when you're doing these videos, but when you're in your first trimester and you're not really telling people, it can feel like you want to tell everyone and chat about it, which is why I love that I have this little platform where I can document things, even if it's not going live for a while. But yeah, I am currently pregnant with my second baby. I have a little boy called Buzz who is 21 months old, and I did actually document that whole pregnancy and the birth as well, so I'll leave those linked below if you want to go and watch those. This time is different. This time I'll tell you kind of the story up till now, but I think what I'm gonna do is just pick you guys up as and when during the first trimester. I think that kind of makes sense to kind of do a little check-in every week, or whenever I kind of have strong symptoms, or, you know, just when I feel like I need to check in with you guys. Obviously, filming this, you never know what the future holds, but I'm hopeful that everything's going to go okay, and I don't want to jinx anything at all, but I also do want to document this journey. So I think I'm going to just say here a little kind of trigger warning. If you are struggling to conceive and you don't want to hear about my story, then I totally get it. We were very fortunate with our conception, and I don't want to sound like a total idiot, basically. I don't want to upset anyone, so please don't watch this if you don't feel able to. Also, a little trigger warning, I will talk about bleeding a little bit, and I believe it was just my period, but I just don't want to upset anyone, so I just thought I'd leave a couple of those here. But yeah, let's just get into it. I am in shock, I'm so excited, and I can't believe we're doing this. If you guys know, if you watched the videos before, I did, like I say, vlog or document our last pregnancy. Right from us finding out, I actually hid the camera. Ollie didn't know, and yeah, I got our reaction, and that is just one of my favourite things ever. But this time, like last time, it was in lockdown. It was a few more weeks on. I was pretty certain I was pregnant, and yeah, it just made sense for us to do it together. I couldn't have imagined doing it any other way. But this time, let me just run you through. So, it's currently Saturday, 29th of October. I found out I was pregnant on Wednesday, 26th of October. And literally about 9 days, even, I don't know, I can't figure out the maths right now. But basically, the week before that is when we had decided, let's see how things go. But we only saw how things go one time. And so no way did I think I would be at this stage already. And this is what I mean, like, I cannot believe how lucky we are. We were incredibly lucky to fall pregnant on the first month of trying last time, and the whole pregnancy, it felt too good to be true. Like, I was so anxious through pregnancy because I just thought, this doesn't happen, like this is a fairy tale, and I know how lucky I am, and for it to happen again this time, like, I've heard so many of my friends who fell fairly easily first time round, and then when it came to the second pregnancy they really struggled. It took them a lot longer. I was very aware that it might take a really long time, and it didn't, which is crazy, and I feel so grateful, and just it is a miracle. Any new life, or any chance at new life, is an absolute miracle, and I know how fortunate and lucky we are. Please, like, know that I feel so grateful for this. So yeah, last time it was a few weeks in until we found out. This time it was a bit different. So Tuesday night I was with my friend and we were chatting and we got around to kind of talking about like pregnancy and stuff, as we quite often do because we've both got little ones. We kind of talk about when we might start thinking about another one and things like that. And I happened to say that my skin, like, I don't know how much you can see on camera, but my skin all around my jaw and my chin is just like a mountain range right now. It is so sore. There are so many big like under the surface spots. They really are horrible. And I mentioned that I've got that, and my friend was like, oh, you couldn't be pregnant, could you? And I was like, funny you should say that, because last week we actually decided to see how things go. And she was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, but it's just spots. Like, I get bad spots when I'm due on and things anyway. I was like, but these are quite different. And I was like, well, it's funny as well, like when we, you know, had sex last week, the next day I could only taste metal. Like all day I could just taste metal in my mouth. I could smell metal. There was just, I could not shake the taste of metal. And the only time I've ever heard people talk about that is in pregnancy. So that whole day I was thinking like, surely not. It was literally yesterday, like it's just in my head, but it was so strong. And I Googled it and I couldn't really get an answer if it could happen that quickly. But yeah, there was that, and there was my skin. And then I kind of was thinking about it, whatever. The next day I was driving home and I felt quite sick that day. And I was thinking, is this all in my head? Am I feeling car sick? But I never feel car sick when I drive. But I was driving home and I was like, right. So I got home, needed a wee. I'd been driving for a few hours. So I was like, right, let's just do a little test. Because I had one already from the previous pregnancy that I hadn't used, so I thought let's just see. So yeah, weed into a cup, which is my top tip if you're ever doing a pregnancy test. So much easier to wee into a cup rather than to wee straight onto the stick, because if you want to then do a second test or whatever, then you've got your wee there in a cup and you don't have to wait till you need a wee again. And also it's just a lot less messy and just easier, you know, you're like definitely dipping it in for the right amount of time, as opposed to, is it actually in the stream of wee or whatever, you know. So I did the test and the faintest line came up, like so faint. I ran upstairs to Ollie, who was working from home, and I was like, can you see this? And he was like, because I just walked straight in and was like waving this pregnancy test in his face, and he was like, what? Like, no way. And I was like, yeah, there's a line, there's definitely a line. And he was like, Shan, I cannot see a line. I think your eyes are tricking you. So I took a picture and I sent it to my friend and I was like, can you see a line? And she was like, yes. So I was like, okay. So I knew I wanted to go and get some other tests because, like I said, that was an old test. You never know. I say old, like not used, but I don't know if they like go out of date or whatever. And I know that they do like the early detection ones, and like digital ones are so nice and clear, obviously. So walked down to Boots and I bought, I think it's called like a triple check kit or something like that. You get 2 tests, which are the line ones, and also a digital one that says like pregnant, not pregnant. And then if you're pregnant, it tells you how many weeks. And yeah, so I bought that. And the line ones, yeah, they were all early detection ones apparently. So yeah, got home, did the digital one, messed up the digital one somehow, and I was fuming because they are not cheap at all. So that was money down the drain. So did that, didn't work. So then I did one of the line ones, but like the early detection line ones, and it came up with a little line. And when I showed Ollie, I was like, you can definitely see this one, can't you? And he was like, okay, yeah, there is a line there. So that was that. And then the next morning, I dropped Buzz to nursery. So this is Thursday morning now. And I was like, right, I'm just gonna go to Boots. I'm gonna buy another digital one. They're expensive, you know, but if you're gonna spend money, like this is an important thing. Like, you know, let's just find out. So I bought another early detection one that tells you how many weeks. And I was so nervous to mess it up because I did not want to lose another lot of money on messing one up. But I didn't, I did it. And oh, it's a long old 3 minutes or whatever it is, isn't it? But yeah, was waiting for it, and it eventually came up pregnant. And then it came up 1 to 2 weeks, which it just blows my mind. Like, I cannot believe how quickly, I just can't believe it. Like, literally a week ago from then, like, how has it happened so quickly? I do not know. It's mind blowing. And to like find out that quickly after as well. Like, I didn't even know that was possible, but yeah, so I got that, and I did the other early detection line test as well, and the line had got a little bit stronger than the day before, which was really reassuring because basically I had a little niggle in my head because I've seen someone's vlog who really sadly suffered a miscarriage, and I was kind of, you know, aware of her story, and so then she had some really faint line pregnancy tests, and obviously when I saw ours, like, I knew that it would have been really, really early days. So that's why I had in my head that, like, the reason the line is so faint is because it's early days. But there was also this slight niggle of, is it faint because there was a baby and now there isn't? Because I think, I don't know, I think once you hear people's stories and things, then you're a lot more aware of what can go wrong and, I don't know, the realities of it. So yeah, to see that line getting darker the next day was really promising. But the reason that I had in my head as well that perhaps things weren't right is because I actually had the longest period I've ever had, like, beforehand. It was 12 days straight of heavy bleeding. Yeah, I'd had a really long bleed. So then in my head I was like, well, maybe that wasn't a really long period. Maybe I was losing the baby and that's why the line is so faint. But I have since done a couple of the cheap line tests as well, you know, the ones that are literally just a strip. And those lines have been getting stronger as well the last couple of days. So touch wood, that was just a really long, weird period. And yeah, hopefully everything's all good. But it is very early days and it's a massive shock. Like I said, we'd made that decision to see how things go, but we had no idea how long it was going to take. No one ever, you can never know, can you? But I can't believe we are here. It's crazy. On Wednesday night, obviously I had the slight worry of, like, am I actually in my head? So that was like causing me to be a bit like up and down about it. But then also, we're in such a weird time, like there's this horrible financial crisis going on right now, and we are okay, but you know, things aren't as easy as they were, like things are tight. But when we had Buzz, we were in a lockdown and I actually got made redundant the day after I found out I was pregnant. So, you know, our financial situation then wasn't the best either, but you make it work, don't you? But I think I had everything running through my head, like financial stuff, but then as well as that, just how on earth do you cope with a toddler and a baby? I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure I'll learn. But it just seems so daunting. Like, I avoid going shopping sometimes with Buzz because he doesn't like going shopping. Can you imagine having a baby that doesn't like going shopping and a toddler, but you need to get your weekly shopping? I guess there's online grocery shopping, isn't there? But do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely daunting. And then there's the whole thing of like, well, we need a double buggy then, or like, I don't know. Currently our spare bedroom is our office. It's got all of my stock in there. It's where Ollie works from. It's where I work from. And we do have plans to build a garden room to become our office, but obviously now that's a little bit more pressing because we'll need that room soon enough for another baby. And I know that's down the line because obviously the baby will be in with us for the first 6 months or so, and obviously I have to grow the baby for 9 months, but still, like, it's not something we want to really be doing when I'm pregnant too far gone, or also when the baby's here. I don't know, you just don't know, do you? So Ollie's like, okay, I need to do that. But yeah, it's just been a few days of just like letting it sink in. I'm sorry I don't have any footage of us finding out or anything like that. Like I said, it was just very different this time, and yeah, it's just crazy. So I think I will be due around the beginning of July. End of June, early July, I think, by my dates. But I'm guessing once I start going to the hospital and having like the scans and things, and they'll date it and we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's that. I am pregnant, and I guess I will check in with you next week, or when I hopefully start to know a bit more. It's daunting because I know every pregnancy is so different. So I was really fortunate to not have any sickness last time. I had nausea, like I felt sick a lot, and I was like, oh, but I think I was sick once, and that was actually in the second trimester. So who knows this time if I'm gonna be sick with a toddler. I know so many people do it. I know we're strong, us mamas, we can do it. But I am pregnant with a baby. Who is this baby? A girl? Boy? Buzz is going to be the best big brother. That is literally something we just keep saying. Like, he is the most perfect little boy we could have ever asked for. Like, we are so lucky. He has got the kindest, like, nature, and just, I mean, I know he's only 21 months. I know we're going to hit the terrible twos. But he's just a delight. Like, he makes every day. He's just amazing. And I'm so excited that we're going to be bringing him a little best friend into this world, whether it is a little sister or a little brother. Wow. Wow. Anyway, I think that's everything I've got to say. I'll pick you up in a week or so. Hello everyone, I thought I would do the second pregnancy update. So it's now the 10th of November, so it's been 2 weeks since we found out. I now am 5 weeks, 5 days pregnant, I think, according to my app. So yeah, the baby got a heart this week, I think, which is just insane. But yeah, I just thought I'd sit down and have a little chat about how things have been. I think I last checked in with you not this Saturday, like Saturday before. So it's been like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks since I last updated you. I am currently in bed, as you can see. It is a Thursday morning. Buzz has been dropped to nursery by Ollie, which is really nice of him. I'm feeling a little bit not great today. We had a funeral yesterday, and that was obviously really an emotional day, and I just got a really bad headache, and then I didn't sleep it off. Like, it didn't go away overnight, which normally headaches do for me. So I woke up this morning feeling a little bit like, oh, groggy, like this eye really hurts. This eye is always where I get headaches. But anyway, so forgive me that I am just laying here in bed. I did, when I got Buzz ready for nursery, have a shower and things, and I've put on some fresh clothes. But I say clothes, they're basically pajamas, but yeah, I am all like clean and everything. Just thought I would get in bed to chat to you. So yeah, first things first, it has sunk in now. I just feel very excited. Yeah, I can't believe it. I really just, I think the thing is that you just have got to hope that everything goes okay, haven't you? That's like, it's just always hanging over you that it's early days and you just don't know what's going to happen. But also I think I want to allow myself to feel positive and excited. But yeah, so in terms of symptoms, I feel like the biggest symptoms, the first one has been my hormones. Like, I have been feeling quite down a lot of the days, especially in the mornings. It gets to like 8, half 8, and I just feel myself just feel really down. I cry most mornings, and it's not over anything. It's not like I'm thinking, oh, like I'm scared about this pregnancy or anything like that. It's just hormones. Like, it just makes you feel down, doesn't it, sometimes? So I think that's been the hardest thing so far, because I don't want to feel like that. Like, I find it really hard when I don't feel 100% when I'm like trying to be a mum to Buzz as well, whatever. Like, I don't want him to see me upset. And also, like, I feel like alongside that, I just had such lack of motivation. Like, I just there's so much to do, but it all just feels very overwhelming and I just feel like yucky. So hopefully those kind of things pass, but you know, it could be a lot worse. Like I felt nauseous a few days. There was probably 4 or 5 days where I just felt sick quite solidly, but I wasn't actually sick, so that's good. I have had some heartburn, but not insane heartburn. Rennies though, have they stopped doing the orange ones? Because I tried to order them online from so many different places and everywhere was out of stock, and I had to try so many different shops before I found them. So I finally found a box of the orange ones in a big Boots. Because I lived off orange Rennies last time and I could only find mint ones this time in most of the shops, and I just don't really think they're very nice. So yeah, that's that. I've had some like cramping, kind of like period pain type feeling in my tummy and my lower back. That feels pretty constant actually. Like I feel like my lower back is always, I'm always aware of it, do you know what I mean? Skin is still bad, I'm still so spotty, and they're just really like painful spots. They're ones that just come up under the surface and, you know, it's really itchy and then really sore, and not necessarily like going to like into a proper spot that you can like squeeze or whatever. Like they just hang around as a big sore on your face. Honestly, I'm painting such a lovely picture, aren't I? But yeah, like nothing's been like super duper extreme. It's obviously still really early days, so sickness and things can come, I suppose, at any point. So I'm almost halfway through the first trimester now, I suppose. But yeah, it's fine. It's good. I've just been tired, a lot. Like last week, I was having to nap when Buzz napped, and then also going to bed really early, and like actually falling asleep really early, which was quite good in a way because I was then waking up at 4:30, just like wide awake. I was having really vivid dreams and some nightmares, and I remember that being a thing last time, like waking up really early. So that was like tricky because I was starting the day at like 4:30, but then luckily I was obviously able to nap when Buzz napped. But yeah, then after a few days of that, I was sleeping until like 7 again or whenever Buzz woke us up, but I was still needing to go to bed really early. So yeah, I'm obviously just, I mean, I'm making a baby, I guess it's normal to be tired. But yeah, so tiredness, heartburn, skin, feeling a bit nauseous. Like nothing mega else, I don't think. So yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling because I'm sure there'll be other weeks where there's loads to talk about. Hopefully I'll catch up with you next week. Am I just gonna look rougher and rougher as the weeks go on? Quite possibly. Look at the state. I'm a little bit under the weather. I have got a cold. Me and my little boy have had a cold for the last few days. I feel so horrendous with it. I've got such a bad cough and like just feeling so under the weather. Luckily today I don't have a headache, but I have had a headache with it for the rest of the time. I've been sleeping like rubbish, etc. But I'll get into that in a moment. So it's now the 17th of November. So I think we have known about this pregnancy for 3 weeks now. So I am now 6 weeks and 5 days, is it? Let me just double check. 6 weeks and 5 days pregnant. You see that there? So yes, 6 weeks, 5 days pregnant, and like I say, I have got this cold. So it's hard to know in this update what has been the pregnancy and what has been this bug for some stuff. Some stuff is obvious, like, you know, having a cold and a cough. That is a cold. But I've had such a bad headache the last couple of days, and I think that isn't helped by the constant coughing.
like the pressure in my head. But what makes it even harder is feeling nauseous, which I assume is the pregnancy. So when I'm coughing, it's like aggravating, like the nausea feeling, it like makes me heave and stuff. Like the last couple of days, it's been a rough ride. So it's Thursday, like I said. The weekend, I was pretty much laid up the whole weekend, as much as you can be when you're a mum. But I dislocated my knee last year, and it's since then been a little bit weak. And yeah, my knee just suddenly just went like really painful. My joints in general did, and I don't know if that's a pregnancy related thing, but luckily after a couple of nights of sleeping with it with a long hot water bottle wrapped around it, that seemed to clear it up. I don't know if it's just like where it's cold, we're trying not to put the heating on too much and stuff, but um I don't know, but that cleared up luckily. Um, but yeah, so I've had this bug which has been horrible. And that's kind of been like the main focus, as well as like feeling sick. Like the thing that I'm finding the hardest is the like nausea, like the feeling sick but feeling starving but not wanting anything. Like literally I've just sat here, like all I want is orange juice, not squash juice. Lollies, I've had a few lollies, and dry crackers, like not even with butter on. Um, I just like I'm really struggling to think of things that don't make my stomach turn. Even toast, like which is like the blandest thing, and it's what you always eat when you're poorly. Is like when you got like an upset stomach or whatever, you know. But like the thought of that, like it's too soggy. Like oh, I don't know. I'm really struggling with the whole sickness thing. Um, and actually today I was sick for the first time, and I was not sick in my last pregnancy. I felt sick a lot. I was sick once in the second trimester, but I think that was unrelated to the pregnancy. But yeah, this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel quite sick. And I say I woke up, I pretty much was awake from 2 a.m. Where Buzz and I have been poorly, we both have got quite a bad cough, and it's really like been keeping us both up a lot. Like he goes off, but then he wakes up upset, and like I just yeah, I've really struggled. So I got up with him because I heard him upset, and then I came downstairs for a wee, which I never would normally have to do, but pregnancy life. And then I felt really empty, like because I hadn't eaten yesterday really at all. So I had a packet of mini cheddars, and then I was just sat downstairs like just wide awake. I really struggled to get to sleep. Buzz was on and off, like needing like a little comfort, and yeah, it was just an awful night's sleep. But so anyway, he was in with us from probably like 5, um, and yeah, Ollie started getting up for work. 'Cause he's got a site visit today, quite far away, and I sat up in bed. I was like, oh, I really don't feel good. And he was like, and obviously I've not been well the last couple of days. So he's like, yeah, like I know, and I'm like, no, I really feel like I'm gonna be sick. And luckily we had a sick bowl in the bedroom because we'd taken it upstairs like last week because I was feeling really nauseous. So I hadn't had to use it, but luckily it was there. So Ollie quickly passed it to me. And to be fair, like I won't go into it too much because I know it's disgusting, but I wasn't like it wasn't really actual sick because I've just not eaten. Had those cheddars in the night, but other than that, I have just not been able to eat. And like last night, we were like, oh, we went out. Like, I've not been out of the house for 2 days because I've been poorly, neither's Buzz. And we went to the garden centre for the last like half an hour of it being open, just to get out the house. And on the way back, we got chips, like from the chippy. And I was like, yeah, they're bland. I'm sure that'll be fine. And I had like like hardly any, and I just couldn't like had like a handful, and then that was me like nope, too mushy, too like oof, nope. And I can't even think of foods. Like this morning, like I was looking in the cupboard like trying to see what I could have for breakfast, and I ended up with having 2 dry crackers. But Ollie was on the phone like because he was asking me how I was doing. This is so waffly, but he was like, how about porridge? And I was like, oh my god, like shush, I can't even hear that word right now. So that's been the main thing. I am just off everything. Um and it's probably quite a blessing that I've got this cold because I can't smell anything. I feel like with the sickness, if I could smell things like Buzz's nappies and like, do you know, just like anything, I feel like that would maybe tip me over the edge even more. So it's a blessing and a curse, this cold, because yeah, the cough has been horrendous with the sickness as well. So yeah, all in all, a really great week. Oh God. So yeah, Buzz is at nursery, dropped him off nearly 2 hours ago now. Luckily, I was feeling okay enough to do that because Ollie had to leave. So I walked him to nursery, but yeah, when I was walking back, I thought I was gonna have to like stop and be ill. But luckily, I made it home. I just sat on the sofa, and that feeling like subsided. So yeah, I've literally been on the sofa with some orange juice, dry crackers, and I watched a Christmas movie at like 8 a.m. on a Thursday morning. Like, I am so grateful that I do not have to go into a job right now. That being said, I obviously do have my own business and my own work to be doing, and there is so much to do. Like, I wrote a list last night because I want to sort out the house as well. Like, I just want to give everything a big reset. Where I've been ill the last couple of days, like, it's just turned into a mess. Like, and Ollie's obviously done bits and bobs, but he's working full time, and it's just like more than full time. He's so busy with work at the minute. So yeah, the house has just turned into a bit of like a mess. So I've got loads of house jobs to do, but also like work. I have got so many orders to make, which is incredible. I'm so grateful, but it sometimes feels a bit like, how am I actually going to get this done? Like, am I ever going to feel good again to be able to like, oh, I don't know. I just have to push through it, don't I? Like, I've given myself this 2 hours of just like coming away from the sickness, and now I'm gonna try and crack on a bit, I think. But I thought I'd update you. I've not heard anything back from the midwives yet about like my booking in appointment or anything like that, so I don't know when that's gonna come through. Because I think that appointment could be from like 8 to 10 weeks, is it? So obviously I'm almost 7 weeks. So yeah, we'll see. I might give him a call next week if I've not heard anything, just to make sure. Because the person who took my call said that she wasn't like on that team, but she could like leave a message. So I want to make sure that did happen, I suppose. But I'm sure it'll be all fine. So yeah, honestly, just the fact I'm off food, my skin is still horrendous, so bad. I just look awful. Like, I feel like my early prediction is that it's a girl, and I know every pregnancy can be different regardless of gender or sex, but I just, it feels so different. Like, the whole thing of like being spotty and feeling really run down, like I've got loads of ulcers and stuff, and that was even before my cold. Like, I just feel quite rotten, and I feel like when I was early pregnancy with Buzz, like I felt nausea, but I felt good. Like, I felt like I had a glow like really early on, and like, I don't know. And the old wives' tale is that like girls steal your beauty, isn't it? Your skin gets worse, hormones, like my moods. Like, I cry every single day. I think I said about this last time though. So yeah, this has been a long waffly update. I'm gonna go and feel sorry for myself. No, I'm joking. I've got stuff to do. So hopefully I'll check in with you next week, and hopefully I'll be feeling a little bit better.
Hello everyone. It is a good while later since the last clip, and I would like to think I sound and look slightly better than I did in that clip. I think I said I was 6 weeks in that. I am now 13 weeks and 3 days. So it has been a long time since I updated you, but honestly, that is just sums up like the last 6 weeks, or however long, 7 weeks, because I have felt so ill. Guys, I have been sick so much. Not for about a week now. I've been good for about a week. I have got quite bad heartburn, but actual sickness and actual being physically sick, I have not done for about a week. And I just hope that that is me done now, because I mean, who likes being sick? Nobody. But I don't like being sick, and it makes me cry, and it makes Buzz upset, and it's just been really, really rough. I think the last time I filmed, I had just been sick for the first time. So I think I was being sick for 6 weeks, on and off. But when they say morning sickness, it's not exclusively to the mornings, I would say. I would say it is any time of day or night it decides to strike. That has been my experience anyway. And yeah, I have been in Audi and thrown up. I've been on walks and thrown up. I've been everywhere and thrown up. And so we've had very much a lot of sofa days, a lot of movie days, a lot of playing with our toys at home days for Buzzy. So yeah, it's been a rough old time. I've been quite shocked because it's just so different to my pregnancy with Buzz. But yeah, I think I can like talk about it now and like laugh about it because I feel like I'm through that. But yeah, it was really, really bad. One of the days I literally just was being sick like all day. Even though, yeah, I was barely eating, so a lot of the time it wasn't really anything, but it's just that motion of like, you know, heaving, gagging, all of the nice things. So yeah, that has been like the main symptom that I would say has been affecting my life. So yeah, there's that. And aside from that, I've not really had sore boobs or anything. I've had quite a sore lower back quite a lot of the time. And I do get kind of period feeling type pains every now and again, like cramping. But yeah, heartburn is like the kind of biggest thing now, I would say. Yeah, tiredness, I feel like it's getting a little bit better. Again, through the last like 6-7 weeks, I have had real like some days where I've just felt absolutely exhausted, and like I'd put Buzz down for his nap and I'd be trying to push through and do like all the housework and stuff and like work that I needed to do. And that's the other thing, my first trimester has been in my absolute busiest time of the year for my business. Like Christmas is the time that I make like the most money. Like I make kind of my year's worth of earnings almost. You know, the rest of the year just like ticks over, but Christmas is like what I really, really rely on. And getting through all of that work whilst being so ill was really, really tough. Not to mention the postal strikes that have just caused so much stress. So yeah, it's just been a really rough time in general. Like I've just, I've said it a million times, but I really just feel like I was just surviving and just like getting through, doing everything I needed to do, but nothing outside of that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been a tough time, but obviously so worth it, and I'm so excited. We basically, let's go through like where we're at in terms of like appointments and things. I had my booking in midwife appointment on the 5th of December, so about a month ago now, and that was fine. I went there and there was a midwife and like a training midwife, I suppose, like a student midwife, and neither of them were from my midwife team, because I've subsequently learnt that my midwife team never actually seemed to be there. There seems to be a lot of illnesses or understaffed, or I've never been able to get through and speak to someone. And there's always someone covering from another area, it seems. But hopefully that changes. It would be nice to kind of feel a bit more secure in like the team of people you're seeing. But yeah, so I went to the booking in appointment, and they had swapped to a new system that day. But because of that, it wasn't working, and so they couldn't find any of my like information on the system. So we did all like the stuff we could do without the computer, and then they were able to like print off questions, and like I filled them out, as opposed to them doing it on the computer. They tried to do my bloods, but I was stupid and had been rushing around all morning getting Buzz to nursery and everything, and hadn't drunk a single drop of water, and they weren't able to get my blood because my veins weren't like, I want to like, you know, my veins weren't juicy enough, basically. They weren't able to get anything. So I they told me to try and book an appointment either at the hospital or at the GP to get my bloods redone. I went out to reception and they were able to book me in for bloods later that day. So I went home, had loads of drink and everything, and got my bloods done by a GP at the doctor's, and they said they'd be able to match it all up. Like, they took all my information down, and then that was that. So yeah, booking in an appointment was fine. I mentioned I would like a home birth eventually, when the time comes, and all of that. And yeah, they asked, basically in Nottingham there's 2 hospitals. I think it's City and, is it Queen's? It's called QMC, I think, and City. I think they're the 2 different ones. Both of their maternity units are actually both under investigation at the moment, which is slightly concerning, but there's not much I can do about that. So yeah, I kind of blindly chose which one because I think they're both apparently as bad as each other. I really don't know, but hopefully I'll be birthing at home anyway. It's just the place I need to just go for scans and stuff. So yeah, that appointment is on the 5th of December. And then like the week before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, I'd called up a couple of times because they said I would get my scan letter through the week after my booking in appointment. And I knew there'd been postal strikes and things, so I thought I'd call up and find out my scan date, in case the letter had been lost in the post, and I didn't want to miss it. And I'd left voicemails with like whoever was taking the calls. They said there was no midwives there to like help answer my questions or anything. So I left voicemails for like a week and a half. Like I tried 3 times, I think, to get in touch. In the meantime, I wasn't getting any answers about the scan date, so I thought I would try and call the hospital antenatal team directly to see if they could see the date on their system that they had assigned me. And I called up and they said they can see my name on the system. They can see that I had got in touch with my GP to say that I was pregnant, but they didn't have any further referrals. So basically, the midwife at my booking in appointment told me she would refer me after my booking in appointment for my scan. And that never happened. And I don't know if that's because there was a new system or if she just forgot. But yeah, this was the week before Christmas at this point, and the lady said that they had no appointments until the new year. But obviously it's quite crucial to have your scan before a certain date, because they need to be able to do the tests for certain things, and once it gets past a certain date they're not able to do those tests. So I think the date is 14 weeks and 1 day you have to have your scan by and those tests by. And she was looking on the system and the only date that was coming up was making me 14 weeks and 2 days. And yeah, she was like, that's a problem because you can't be 14 weeks and 2 days. And this is just going by my dates anyway, so potentially it could have been later than that anyway, but whatever. So eventually she found one that I could have, which is actually tomorrow. So I've not even had an NHS scan date yet, and I'm now 13 weeks and 5 days, did I say? So yeah, because of this, we wanted to be able to tell family and everything about the pregnancy over Christmas time, but I didn't feel 100% comfortable doing that until we'd had a scan. We booked an early reassurance scan with a company local to us called Meet Your Miracle, and yeah, we went for that, and yeah, they were able to find a baby straight away. Heartbeat looked good, everything was looking good, so that was really, really lovely to see, and just that reassurance, because it's just the weirdest thing in your first trimester, going so long and like feeling all the symptoms and things, but not really having, other than the symptoms, not having that validation of like, this is actually happening and everything's like happening in the right place. So yeah, that was really lovely. And yeah, so we actually told our friends and family, and then on New Year's Eve we like told, like, you know, extended friends and family, like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So yeah, tomorrow I've got the NHS scan, so hopefully that goes well. But yeah, in all honesty, there's nothing like super interesting to, like, there's nothing, but yeah, other than just being really, really sick, there's not too much to say. I don't really think I've had too many other like weird and wonderful symptoms. I've not had like sensitive teeth like I remember having last time. I've not had any crazy cravings. I've just been eating very, very bland, beige, like hard food, like, yeah, just like crackers, ready salted crisps, I've eaten a lot of rice cakes, but yeah, just very, very bland food. I'm finally getting to the stage where I can eat a little bit more out there foods, but it really does depend on how I feel at the time. Like, we had Nando's the other day and that was fine, but then that evening I couldn't eat anything crazy or whatever, you know. It's just very up and down. So hopefully things will continue to improve. Hopefully I won't have any more sickness. And yeah, I do feel like I have already got a bump, which, I mean, I'm a lot bigger than I was when I first fell pregnant with Buzz. So that's obviously a factor. And also apparently with your second baby, your bump can show quicker because it's like your tummy knows what's going on and your muscles kind of go back to where they were or something like that. I'll stop talking because this video, I've already edited the rest of the clips and it's really, really long, so I don't want to bore you. But yeah, just wanted to check in, update you on how it's been. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for joining me on this journey and for all of your love and well wishes and congratulations and everything over on Instagram. Shortness of breath is something actually that keeps happening, but yeah, I've not like written any notes. I think I've kind of covered what's been going on, but yeah, thank you so much for being lovely, and I'm really excited to share this journey with you. The next video is going to be a first trimester Q&A, I think. I asked for questions the other day, so I've got loads of those to answer, so that will be coming soon. And then, yeah, I feel like I can finally get back into vlogging and things a bit more now, because I just couldn't. Like, A, I was just so poorly that I just couldn't, and B, I just felt like I was keeping this massive secret from you. And it does, like, I know people say, oh, when people have a baby, when people are pregnant, it becomes their personality, blah, blah. It's hard to not be, because like, you literally feel like a whole different person when you're feeling ill, or like, even that aside, like, you're about to go through a big life-changing thing. Like, when people get married, they talk about their wedding a lot. When people, you know, anything that happens in life, it is gonna like take over. But anyway, I am excited to get back talking to you guys, and now you know, I feel like I can be myself a lot more again, and yeah, really excited. So I'm gonna stop waffling. I love you all lots and lots. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon for the next video. Bye guys. Mwah!